Good morning from the Office of Covenant. This is Kevin, and you are here for a weekly pastoral update. This week's edition is really about the state of the congregation here at Covenant as we live into these pandemic days. So, I want to give you a rundown of what's happening here at the church. And the session and myself is beginning to look forward to see what life looks like as we emerge out of the peak of COVID-19. But what's happening now? Well, our office continues to be open Sunday through Thursday from 9 o'clock to noon. We're answering the phones, we're checking the mail. Some folks are coming in to access the deacon's food pantry. So we're just trying to maintain some bit of normalcy here in the office. All of our full-time staff, me, Shanna, and Stacy, are really trying to take care of our various constituencies. Shanna is reaching out pastorally to children, youth, families, and MOPS, mothers of preschool mothers, while Stacy continues to provide resources for the choir and myself. I'm trying to get in touch with everyone in the congregation. So if you don't hear from me, please give me a call or shoot me an email. I would love to check in with you. In addition to providing pastoral care, you have noticed that we're providing a lot of content online. So Stacy does a weekly meditation on the piano. Shanna's doing a weekly story time. I'm doing these weekly addresses on Wednesdays. We're live streaming worship, and on Thursday evenings, we're providing a Zoom Bible study, and access to that is found safely in your covenant email. Hopefully, you've heard by now that we are in receipt of one of the best organs in the United States, a complete gift to us. So Stacy is working on the details of transitioning that organ from Rexburg, Idaho, getting it here to Boise. With the shelter at home, we're not exactly sure when it's going to be here, but we are prayerful it will be here by the end of April, early May. And we've been in receipt of two great gifts. So shout out, thank you to Gail Parker for making this dream come true. And another anonymous donor has stepped up just in thrill of Gail's very generous donation and said, I want to take care of the rest of the expenses for getting this organ here. So we celebrate that we're getting one of the best organs in Idaho at absolutely zero cost to our ministry budget. If you've read our weekly update, you may have learned by now that Covenant has applied for a payday protection program loan offered in the latest stimulus package, which covers about 2.5 months worth of staff salaries. So we're hopeful that that will help us out in our cash flow. Um, and all of this has been allowing us to get to projects that we wouldn't normally have time for. So our outdoor storage sheds have been cleaned and organized. Carpet cleaning is being done by our staff of all people in the Van Wyck room and the educational areas. We're getting to some painting projects in the educational wing to really freshen that up. In the office, we're going through our electronic files, and Shanna is deep cleaning, organizing the copy and supply room. So our staff is staying very busy, allowing us to uh, emerge from post-pandemic in a very wonderful place. Our deacons continue to provide their ministry. The food pantry, as I stated earlier, continues to be utilized at an increased pace. The deacons are assisting financially some individuals, not only in the community, but within our covenant family as well. So our deacons are staying busy. Our prayer team continues to meet online on Tuesdays at 11:45. If you would like to be included in that prayer team, I think it's one of the best things that we do together. So that's what we've been up to now. But looking forward, what does this look like? I don't know that any of us have a good sense of what this looks like. But some of you have been asking, how are the finances at the church? And right now, we've had some people really step up to continue their pledges, for which we're grateful for. We have adequate resources in the bank, so I am not worried about covenant in the long term in the slightest bit. But we are going to be dependent upon your continued giving patterns. And I recognize that for some of us, we just simply aren't going to be able to do that. But if you have the resources, please consider giving to the ministry here at Covenant, because it will be your continued giving that allows us to weather this storm financially here at Covenant without burning through the reserves that we have on hand. We continue to monitor our finances closely, and we'll give you any updates as we know more about that. But I was a part of a Zoom call that prompted some really good conversations. Covenant is part of this Myrtle collaboration. We received a $30,000 grant right before this, which will help us in the long run. But two of the questions that we had for the participants that I want to ask you: what are you learning about yourself in these very extraordinary days? And number two, what changes is this situation provoking you to make in your life that you can be healthier post-pandemic and live into the reality that God has called you to be? Well, we're already at the 6-minute mark. I don't want to take any more of your time, but I did want to give you an overview of what's happening in the life of Covenant, and we pray that you have a very blessed Easter.